Imagine a world where every challenge becomes an opportunity, every obstacle a stepping stone to success. Welcome to the inspiring journey of Deb Drummond, a visionary who has transformed lives through her innovative approach to wellness and entrepreneurship. Let's embark on this extraordinary adventure together. Deb, it's so beautiful to have you here. You were just like this sparkling light when I look at you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my gosh, Kris, I think we were just talking about how we are both so youthful in our hearts, right? So wise in our mind and youthful in our hearts. And I think probably our combined love for health and wellness and hanging out with really good people doing good things helps make us shine brighter.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you have done so many amazing things. I didn't want to go on and read your bio, but it kind of shocked me when you told me like 30 years and all the health and wealth and the things that you've launched to banks, and you've been doing some incredible things. And I wanted to ask you sort of unconventional kind of questions.
Yeah.
What kind of risks have you taken in your business, and how did it pay off for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I've built a number of companies, I think, as you know. And so the different risks that I've taken at different stages in my life were based on where I was in that. Let me tell you one of the very first risks that I took. So I was off to go to university to get a degree in women's studies and religious studies and go help create economic platforms in third world countries. Yay, I'm off to school. Then I have this, crazy craving for a muffin. And I'm sugar-free, wheat-free, and dairy-free. I have been forever. And so I was in my 20s. So I go 40 minutes for a muffin. I'm like, I want a muffin. Right. So as I get that muffin, I leave and I see the corner of my eye, there's this pink flyer. And I grab it. And this flyer is about a massage class. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Da, 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 da. So kind of cool. Now, I get the news of a wanted surprise. I find out that I'm pregnant.
Oh.
I'm not going to university, and I'm not going to be going across the world to go create economic platforms. But this pink flyer had this incredible course for massage. So I go, can I come while I'm pregnant? She's like, absolutely. And the second class, I pulled out my piece of paper and wrote my first business plan. If I do this many massages a week for this many days, I'll be able to take care of the family, right?
Right.
And when I say my risk was because we hadn't planned for that financially, that whole change around. So about a couple months later, I'm starting to charge for massage, right? And ironically, my daughter's father doesn't even like massage. So he's like, I don't know what you're doing. So I started doing these advertising at that time was going to the local photocopy shop and getting things photocopied and basically putting them on any post that you could put them on. And so I started doing that. Now I had my Visa bill come to me, and I think it was like $250. And I got to think my daughter's 31 now. She, not even born. And I didn't have the money, but I guess I'd bought some photocopying and some things and some supplies. And so I wrote a check. Does anyone remember checks? I wrote a check for the amount. I put it in the envelope, and I was just about to walk out the door to put in the mailbox. And my daughter's father says, we don't have that money. We don't have that money to pay that Visa bill. I said, but we will. And he's losing his mind. Not a holistic person, right? Very linear. He goes, how can you write a check and put it in the envelope? I go, we'll be good. We'll be fine. And honestly, that was obviously a long time ago, 31 years. I still do that philosophy. And here I am today. So we paid that Visa bill. It showed up, and there was just something very much about, so that was a big risk back then. We didn't have that money and he was going to kill me. Yeah. And I would say my risks probably at this side of my business probably have a few more zeros to them, but it's still the same feeling and still the same experience.
Right. And so it's really intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
An intuitive entrepreneur, right? So, and it plays such a big role in your, I'm a millionaire, the money's not in the bank, or, the way that people
Yep.
talk about it.
Yep.
And how you created all of that. I'm just wondering, how do you balance? Because this is the big thing. I'm a workaholic, and I mean I enjoy working, but it's sort of hard to take time off. Your personal fulfillment. You've got a family, and then you have your business. So how do you balance all of
Yeah, I mean, again, at different stages in my life, right? So I won't say that my life's not abundant because it is. I always say when people go, "Oh my gosh, you do so many things," I'm like, I'd rather be tired than bored. Like, what would you rather me? Would you rather call me and go, "Hey, would you like to do something in the next 3 weeks? My calendar's empty." I go, "Man, I was born this way." People are like, "Oh my," I go, "I was born this way." Like, I didn't go and take a course on how to be creative. I didn't take a course on how to work more than the average person. I mean, I just didn't do that. It is my DNA, and I'm on path and on passion, and just be grateful because next lifetime, it's your job. And they're like, "Oh," I go, "Right." And I go, and so I go, and honestly, people say to me, "Oh, you're so," I go, "If you say that B word, I'm going to say the B word back." I go, because I'm not B, I'm abundant, right? And yay me, yay me. But I will tell you how I do the balance thing. So when I'm in if I'm in a place of growth, like right now we're in a place of growth, we're launching a television channel. I don't know, kind of got some things to do. There's no, I don't lie to myself. My team, we don't lie to each other. We're in it. We're in it. We'll come up for air. We know it. It's all good. We know why we're doing it. So fatigue doesn't really hit you the same way when you're doing something that you know the reason. So for me, this is about accessibility, right? And so that it fuels me. Now, there was a time when I had young children. So I used to have an aromatherapy company, and my daughter wanted to make money. I go, "I'll be your first employer. So I'll sit with you while we label labels and pour oils into and that kind of thing." My son. So I used to do trade shows. I did trade events. I love trade shows. I love meeting people. So I would take them to trade events with me. But I also, when I couldn't take them to trade events with me, there would always be a little note on their pillow every single night that they got to open up. And it might have been a gift certificate, might be a treat, might be a Troy, might be this. But I would say to them, "Okay, so mom's going to go. And every time I make a sale, you make $5."
it?
They're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I would call them, and not that money's but it was really helpful for them to understand she's gone here, she comes back here, and there's some benefit to them. They're like, my son used to be like, "Go on another trade show, Mom. I want to get some Lego." Because we come home and I'd say, "Here's your money. Here's your $40, $50, $100 or something." "Oh my gosh," right? And it also taught them the world of commerce. So I think I was just really honest with my kids. My son, when he sat me down and he was 15 and he said he wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I'm like, "Are you out of your friggin' mind? Do you see I go, do you ever plan on eating off a dining room table?" Do you know what I mean? But
Right.
I work it in and don't apologize for it. I think that took a long time for me to not apologize for being the creative that I am. Just because you are creative at painting, no, like if someone painted 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day, no one would say, "Oh, you're really busy." They'd say, "Wow, you're really talented." And so I tell people that this is my art. This is my art.
That's awesome. And I really like how you bring your kids into it. That's how, I was brought up. My dad would every dollar I put in the bank, he would match it, right, or double it. And so I've always been a saver because my daddy taught me. And so, getting your kids involved, and now he's 15 and wants to be an entrepreneur, and that's just so cool,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah,
do
now
you,
he's 21 with his own company.
boy, oh boy, imagine that. That's just awesome. And that's all really, that's how it's supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would look at like one of the most important lessons, you've been in leadership, you've done what, 30 companies, or you've done a lot, right? Build a lot of companies.
7. There's a difference between 7 and 30.
Well, seven's a lot too.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what would you say the biggest lesson you've learned about leadership is, and how it's like shaped your approach to, you know, starting new things and
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I never forget where I've come from. Now, I came from very humble beginnings, a single mom. Back then, if your partner left and didn't pay you, oh, well, Sally, Sally, So my mom went and started selling Tupperware to make sure we had food on our table. So I don't ever forget that. I'm not the person that says because this person is a celebrity or they have this or they have that. From a human to human standpoint, I don't have a gauge that changes depending on the outside of somebody. I really bank on the inside. So I've always had, like, I had a massage company for a long time. We just talked about that, 27 years. And I had upwards of 18 staff. And we had staff meetings. And before, Simon Sinek came on and told people how to, teach your companies right, I always had all of my staff meetings in a circle, always in a circle. And I listened, and I was the last person. Yes, I had the final to say. Yes, I had the final decision because the company was dependent on me, right? Same as now. I have a staff meeting, and the first question I do in our staff meeting every week is who's got something really that's pertinent, because I'm mostly answering questions and saying yes and no's. I don't need to be the person speaking. I need the person to hold the culture. I need the person to hold the values and the mission. So I think that just if you ever talk to any staff or anyone that works with me, people wouldn't even know at a meeting or we were out in public who owned the company and who was my CMO or CFO or whoever was with me that day. Yeah.
That's great because, and that circle conversation is the new energy of how we work together instead of top down or, whatever, however, because we're all community and that's how it really works the best. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
Right. But there's so many fun things to talk to you about. And you just say in your journey, who has been the most influential that has really turned your head or had an impression on you?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Again, I would say different times in my life. Shakti Gawain made a really big impression on me. I read a book called Living in the Light when I was in high school that I really identified to. It was the first time that she talked about masculine and feminine energy. And I realized that the energy that I had inside had a duality, and I could never really figure that out because I loved being feminine, but I also loved production and those kind of things. So that was really self-soothing. The first time I put a Janis Joplin album on, I could tell you today where I was standing, what I was doing. I was a young girl at home. I was about 16. And it was the first time I was like, okay, I felt like I met a sister. I was like, oh man, you are like my new best friend, right? And I felt a lot of relief. Going up into my world of business, somehow the book Think and Go Rich by Napoleon Hill crossed my path. No one told me to go get it or buy it. It just somehow crossed my path. I read that book 10 times until I felt like I didn't need to read it anymore. And then people started saying, hey, you should read this book. So I think I took a lot from that book. In terms of, people that I've looked up to, Patricia Ireland, I read her book. She was, the head of the National Organization for Women. I mean, I was in my 20s. The first time that I met and understood Gloria Steinem, I really, really, really felt a strong lean towards rights, just in general, just human rights. And I think I fell in love with more people that had global visions, whether it was business or not. I think it was global visions that really, that I was very inspired by. I mean, this whole women's project that I'm doing right now that's taken over my life was inspired by a movie that I feel was sent to me on Netflix called Seeing Allred. And it was the life story of Gloria Allred and how she created accessibility for women. So I think that I'm inspired by people that have, just a global vision that kind of keep me going. And honestly, my grandmother was kick butt. She would piss my mom off, excuse my language. My mom would get so mad at me and she's like, you're just like your grandmother. And I was like, well, that's cool because she's freaking cool, right? So now my mom knew a different grandmother than I did, right? That was her mom. Moms and daughters, they got their own gig. Right. But I just thought my grandmother was so cool because she just said it how it was. And she would just tell you how it was. All of the grandchildren were scared of her except me. I was like, you sit down. She had a little toddy in the afternoon one too many times, and off she'd give us her speech. I'm like, you ladies sit down. So, yeah, I think I was raised by strong women.
Yeah, cool. So now, how do you inspire and empower others to embrace change?
Well, I'm running this big media company that creates accessibility for entrepreneurs to have true valued media and marketing experiences so that they stay sustainable. I think I talk about my mission and vision of my business in everything I do. And therefore, I think that's inspiring to people and motivating them, because I'm a true believer in that if you need someone to do it, get in and do it. Like I've been like, I'm on the front line. I'll go on the front line. When we're at the Oscars or we're at the Emmys, I'm at that front line. I'm giving that book to celebrities or doing what I'm doing, but I'm on the front line if we're at a trade show in a small town of 300 people. That, I think, is that same philosophy. So I put myself first. I ask women to risk. They're like, oh, I might not have the finances to go on a TV or go on a show and go on a book. And I'm like, look, it's the same risk that I am opening up a channel. Do you know what I mean? So I think people see that I'm doing the same thing that I'm telling them to do or opening the doors to do. So I think just really living by example.
Right.
Yeah.
And people see, like what I do, right? I own what I sell. It's not like, oh, you should do this, but I don't want to do it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that, oneness, and there's no, it's the same. You meet me now, you meet me later. It's the same. It doesn't have to change to, manipulate. So that's what's so beautiful about heart-centered and, the good stuff. So, and you've done a lot of things: mission accepted, transformational conversations. You got all kinds of spark within, right? That all of these great projects and things you have. Tell everybody right now about your launching the channel, where it's at, how can they get it, all of those good things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So to kind of give it perspective, I got a very clear download. I know you understand that terminology, to start a media company a long time ago, many years ago. No one heard the word Joe Rogan before. No one heard the word, maybe very few people heard a podcast. And so because I had been in this world of entrepreneurship, I took it on as another platform for entrepreneurs, including myself, to learn and play. So I've been in media for a while. And one of the ways that I decided to help people get exposure was doing anthologies. Predominantly, people come to me to be an anthology to use as a business tool. I always say that's where God's got me, right? So it's like, how can I really truly stop smiling and pretending everything's okay? I need this to make money. So that's kind of where I fall. So I'd be doing these anthologies, and they were super successful, and the podcasts and all of these things were really helpful. And then I had a clear indication that I needed to act on a vision that I had when I was 31. And that was to put this incredible book together of 262 women full of gumption called Mission Accepted. So we started with a book, and then I got another download to create summits. So we did 22 summits in 15 months, 440 speakers, 6,000 women, and those that support women came. It was open to women and those that support. We hit 200 million media impressions. We launched a book to huge acclaim, right? I mean, it was popping numbers in all different countries. When we took that book to market, I held 50 pages out of 262 pages back. I said, we're doing a 5-year book tour. We're going around the world, and we're going to meet people that want to be in the book. And I'm not doing 262.2. So we held these back with women's names of, women in history. And then we went to the Emmys and we gave this, and Ireland and Texas and Vancouver and all the things. When we came back, we opened those up. So we opened those 50 spots up, and we said, okay, when those 50 spots start to get filled and we come to the close of the book, which we have 20 spots left for anyone wanting to be in a good book. And in 60 days, we will close that book, give it to the Emmys in September, to the suite, the gifting suite. And this April, next week, we launch the next piece. And the next piece is, so we tell women to speak on our summit so that they're seen and then they're heard. And it's a very postured spot. And so they get to see and experience media in a way they've never, and we all want to talk about our project. We all want to drive attention to our purpose, right?
Right.
Now we take those and now we can put them on the TV channel. So what we're launching next week is called the Women's Channel. So women that speak for us in a summit can now be seen on TV. Now their reach is an additional 250 million, but we have also opened it up so for women that want to have their own show. And again, it's for women and those that support women. So if someone who's not a woman who has a strong demographic of something that serves women, that's okay. So now women can have their own show. They can do their own commercials. They don't have to have deep pockets. They don't have to understand technology. They can, move their podcast over there. And now they can have interviews and guests that are all on a show that's doing the marketing for them, because that's been a big challenge. You're busy as an entrepreneur. You have a podcast or your YouTube channel. Now people don't realize you have to market that.
Yep.
It's a commodity. And they're like, oh, which is why over 90% of podcasts don't make it to their 100th show, because you have to market it, or you have to have people on your show that have a name or what have you. So, and then it's taking them 2, 3, 4, 5 years to curate this beautiful piece of media, where you can take that concept now and you can go on to a television show and they can do the marketing for you, and you do what you do best, which is talk to cool and groovy people that do something you're interested in. So this is the change that's happening. And for me, as a woman who's into accessibility and availability for everyone, I think it's really cool, because at a time, and again, we don't need to announce our age, but at a time, the only people I really saw that were in media, Dinah Shore, Oprah Winfrey, right? You've got Ellen DeGeneres. And so you were like, these people have deep pockets. I don't have deep pockets. I would never have thought I could be on TV. I mean, at best, it was like people doing the weather, right? I mean, you just didn't. So now that is an accessible opportunity for people. And I think just like when something new comes along, it's been floating around for a while, that, but the masses don't know that.
Right. Well, congratulations on putting that together. Tell everybody where and how they can get in contact with you about this. Sounds like this perfect timing. Right.
Perfect. Well, here's the thing. Everything I do is in one house. So if you go to debdrummond.com, you will see a beautiful square that says 262. You hit it, it's going to flip around. It's being built right now. Like today, our website is not active, but in the 2 days, you flip it and it's going to take you to this world where you're going to hit the TV and it's going to take you right to the television channel. But here's my commitment. The reason why I send people to my website and all my social media stuff is if you go to my website and you go to the contact page, so how I've got it set up is that email, that message comes to me and not my team. So it will really, not that I'm the all be all, my team's rock stars, but I will personally respond back to you with any questions or anything that you want. And there's also my calendar link on my website on lots of pages. So you can find that. That's the best place to find things that I do and actually get to talk to me personally right away.
Perfect. So share with everybody a golden nugget here about a habit or a practice. I'd like to get into the health thing, but it's sort of another part of who you are.
Yeah.
But what is one habit or practice that it's pivotal, that has really helped your personal growth in your whole business and life?
Honestly, it's my health decisions. I've been gluten-free, dairy-free, and sugar-free for 30 years. The first thing I do in the morning is I invest in myself. Look, if there's a supplement that I think is going to better my life, and look, I'm pretty versed on them. I'm a formulator. I mean, I take a product for my brain that, and I take a product for, no inflammation in my body. I put myself in an alkaline state drinking. I mean, it's right here, a nutritional drink. So I spend my money on the most important piece of real estate in my life, and that's my body. So when people say, how do you do what you do? I've got a clear mind. I've got a robust of energy. I'm not saying that there's days that I'm not like, I need to go to the spa and not come back for a week. I mean, we have those things, but I really invest in myself. And I think that people rip themselves off by not doing that. They'll say things like, isn't that expensive? And I'm like, how's those new tires? You know what I mean? Like, You know, people
Yeah.
go buy coaches. I'm like, I don't care. I'll use the same coach for a while and I'll go take care of my body. That truly is the best hack for my business.
Yeah.
It puts me in a state of top performance. I mean, I'm a top performance coach anyways, but it puts me in my top 1 to 3%.
That, that's it right there. And if we can't take the time out, like I get up in the morning and I do, turmeric and an apple, and then I'll do an apple, ginger, kale, spinach, and then I'll do a soup drink. It's just,
Yeah.
it's amazing, just taking now it takes longer and I got more to clean up. Oh, well, that's your health insurance right there. And
Yeah, well said. That's your health insurance.
right. And now, mind you, I'm vegan and for no killing too, but I found out that it really is the healthiest way to be too. But I started because I didn't want to eat animals. Then I had a pituitary tumor and I didn't want to do the drugs and the surgery. It was like, God, what do I do? Prayer, fasting, cleanses. And, after a number of years, I tried, lots of modalities. Thank God it beat it. Gone. Right. And so, right. And you probably have tons of millions of those stories. So just to inspire everybody that's listening to really, try a few new things, and, the health is wealth and it goes together. And right.
So much. We talked about, like, in my earlier days when my world was all health and wellness.
Yeah.
A girlfriend of mine was quite up in the Royal Bank. The Royal Bank is a bank in Canada.
Right.
And she said, Deb, can you please come in and talk to people and teach our staff and our high ventured clients, because they have a lot of money and they're so unhealthy. They can't even get on a cruise.
Jeez.
So this whole it was called the Health and Wealth series.
Right.
And literally, it really, truly is a fundamental to you don't have to be like the best. You just got to make different choices. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not. Like, instead of having a donut, you have an apple. Like, it's really not. Like, it doesn't take much more time, right?
Right.
So,
You do. Right. Exactly. Deb, it's so fun to talk to you. I look forward to more, and congratulations on your launch for your TV channel, and
thank you.
everybody that's listening to go track her down and check it out. So thank you.
Thank you.
Really.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Kris.
As we conclude this incredible journey with Deb Drummond, remember that the power to transform your life lies within you. Take the lessons learned today and turn them into actions that will ripple out and change the world. Thank you, Deb, for igniting the spark within us. There's so much to learn about healthy money. I hope today's discussion brings you one step closer to securing and protecting your future. So you can get started on the right foot, go to meetwithkrismeller.com and schedule your free financial fitness strategy session. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to Money 911 so you don't miss our next episode, which includes health, wealth, and peace of mind.